the window closed on the exact UTC time, the winter solstice. And our timeline is obviously flawed. There's no question about that at this point. I was up at 9:03. I was counting down the seconds, and nothing happened. And it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me at all. This isn't over. Unless you want to say it is. And how about we just, hey, listen to me. How about we just quit this? Let's just forget it. Let's just go on about our lives and do something else. I would love for you to tell me, though, what that is. The only thing that we now know is that it wasn't timed to the exact minute of solstice. That's all we know. It doesn't change anything else as far as all of the warning signs and the indicators that our time's almost up here. This is not the time to quit. Unless you want to throw yourself into the category of the naysayers. And that's easy to do. You know, they're going to be coming out now in droves and they're going to be saying, Steve, yeah, I told you so. You know why I don't allow your comments on this channel is because they're not encouraging at all. And we are commanded to encourage one another as we see the day approaching. That means we can see it. Unless you want to just kind of get you a pair of scissors and neatly cut that verse out of your Bible and throw it away. God didn't say that for no reason. We can see the day approaching. We can see the day approaching. And this is not over. This is not over. Today, December 21st, daylight hours, this is the 7th day of Hanukkah. This is the 7th day. And we know it wasn't timed to the exact minute of solstice. So we learned something. That's what we did. I'm here to encourage you folks not to give up. I don't hardly know what to say except that tonight, Sunday, December 21st, after sunset, you will light, if you're a Jew or if you're if you're an Oklahoman and you celebrate Hanukkah, you're going to light the 8th candle. Okay? After sunset, the 8th candle. This marks the beginning of the 8th night. Tomorrow, Monday, December 22, this is the actual 8th day of Hanukkah, as I pointed out, Zot Hanukkah, which is the final day of the festival. Today, December 21, a date which will, in my mind, live in infamy. This day is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. Now, here are a few specific details that I think we all need to know and keep in mind, bear in mind, as we go forward here. So we know the moment just passed, the exact moment of the solstice when the sun was at its lowest point. It occurred just a while ago at 9:03 a.m. my time in Oklahoma. Today we'll have, listen to me, today we'll have the fewest hours and minutes of sunlight of the entire year. Let me say that again. Today we'll have the fewest hours and minutes of sunlight of the entire year. We're in the longest night. And the night that begins this evening after sunset is considered the longest night of the year. Okay? So technically, we're still in darkness. Culturally, this timing is often viewed as very poetic. You are lighting the 8th and the final Hanukkah candle, the most light of the festival, on the very night that the natural world is at its darkest. Now, every day that passes, every minute that passes, every day that passes, the timeline shifts forward a day. That's pretty obvious. The timeline shifts for every moment that passes by. The timeline shifts forward a moment. This is not the time, especially now, this is not the time to just, just give up, just quit. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Please at least try to grasp onto a little bit of critical thinking here. How are you going to replace your time? Now, I think it's necessary, and I don't usually focus on my own personal thoughts about my own personal life or anything else. But this ministry, I want to remind you folks, this ministry, the last 28 days, according to the analytics on Google, I earned a whopping revenue of $1.27. Okay? Why is that? Because I don't monetize these videos. I don't have an online store. Let me just get to the point. I have no ulterior motive for doing this other than I love the Lord, I love His Word, I love His coming, I love His people. And I don't have anything better to do with my life, in my opinion. I mean, this is my own personal stance on this. There is nothing I'd rather do than fellowship with you folks. There's nothing I'd rather do than study His Word and to minister to others. You doubters, just go away. All right? I mean, first of all, and let me run through a few things here for you folks. I don't really want to even talk to the doubters. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I hope that you understand, as they don't seem to understand, that there's a difference between a possibility saying, hey, it's possible that the Lord may come December 21st, and being dogmatic, okay? The Lord is absolutely coming December 21st. You know what? If I had said that, you wouldn't be seeing me now. These folks need to get a dictionary, and they need to learn the difference between a possibility and a certainty. I don't think they're very capable of critical thinking. If they could stop for a moment and think about what they're doing when they say, Steve, you don't know, no man knows the day nor the hour. It's so easy to throw that out there. And the reason they throw that out there is because that's all they hear. That's all they're really interested in hearing. They're not interested in bending their ear to hear something that might be of value. It's just easy for them to go along, bump along. The imminency of the rapture is imminent. It can happen at any time. You don't think we know that? Now, when you say, and especially when you say, well, I'll get to that, but let me just say this too. You need to be careful when you go judging another man's servant. When you go saying to someone, some individual in any aspect of the Christian life, you should stop doing that. You don't need to be doing that. You need to be doing X, Y, or Z. You need to stop doing ABC and start doing X, Y, and Z. You have no right to say that to any Christian. I hope you never do that, because you don't have the knowledge of the Holy Spirit and what the Holy Spirit is doing in that person's life. You have no idea how God is working in the lives of another individual. You barely know how He's working in your own life. You don't want to be judging another man's servant. Now listen to me. Who's the one really watching every day? The ones who say, well, Steve, Pastor Steve, we just need to be watching every day. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. We need to be watching every day. Who's the one really watching every day? stop and think about that a minute. Who is the one that's really watching every day? The ones that's saying, well, we just need to be watching every day, or the ones that are actually watching every day, who are spending their every last waking moment thinking about being with the Lord, thinking about the end times, the rapture occurring, thinking about being with the Lord. Who's the encouraging one here? We are to encourage one another as we see the day approaching. Who's the one that's encouraged? Do you think it's very encouraging to me for you to walk up to me and say, we just need to get off of this? I mean, I'm so tired of this date setting. First of all, it's never been date setting. It's always been about a possibility. It's always been about encouraging one another as we see the day approaching. That's Hebrews. And that is a command, by the way. This is what we're commanded to do. Do you think it's very encouraging? And here I am. It sounds like I'm talking to these naysayers, these doubters, okay, these ones that are critical of all this. And I don't even want to do that. I really need to. I'm trying to just talk to you folks here. But who's really the encouraging one? I'll tell you what I've seen since I began this 9 years ago. I have it logged, I have it saved, documented, I have it saved to thumbnail drives, and I'm talking about megabytes of data. Here's what's happened in all this time, from my perspective. I don't know, I can't speak about yours, but here's what's happened to mine. I've seen saints come to know the Lord through this. I've seen newly awakened saints, those who were doubters, come to realize that it's quite valuable to redeem our time, because the days are evil, and involved in certain activities that are distinctly separate from the normal activities of life. And I've got to tell you, I mean, let me just remind you, I'm a very busy guy. I make time for this, okay? With everything else that's going on, all these naysayers that think the Lord, He's just going to get here when He gets here. He'll come when He comes, and then they're obviously not involved in any of this. They're just waiting, okay? They're waiting, and they're using the doctrine of imminency to justify their uninvolvement in the lives of so many other Christians. They are depriving themselves of what they could enjoy, experience, be blessed by. That's how I look at it. I'm just as busy as all the rest of you. I have a life. I have chores to do. Believe me, I do. I got chores to do. I have errands to run. I have the daily functions of life. They go on, but I still make time for it. I still make time for this. And it's because I love His appearing. I've seen people come to know the Lord. I've seen sleepers reawakened. I've seen relationships established that I never had before. And I'm talking about golden relationships that will never go away, that are permanent, that have changed my life. Or just their involvement coming into my life. Iron sharpens iron. And they've taught me. Don't just think that, I've taught you something. You folks have taught me a whole lot. Now, none of that would have happened if I'd have taken the approach, that, he'll just get here when he gets here. We believe in imminency as well. Who are the ones who really believe that He could come at any moment? Who are the ones who are really watching? I'd say we are. You're watching every day. You're going to tell me, Steve, he'll get here when he gets here. And you're going to tell me you're watching every day? No, that's what we're doing. What have you been doing? Now, here I am again talking to them. Now, I need to talk to you folks. Think about it, folks. Think about it. What have they been doing? I mean, I'd love for them to tell me. I'd love to know. You're going to be a critic of the Comforter, the Paraclete, the one who comes alongside and comforts us. You literally have, as a witness, you have thousands upon thousands of believers who are being encouraged, who are fellowshipping with one another, who are growing in grace and knowledge of Him, who love Him, His Word, His people. If that's all they wanted to do, if they wanted to quit life in general and just do nothing but that, and you're going to be critical of that, and expect me to praise you for your eloquent wisdom? You're going to be a critic of how God's working in the lives of others. You're going to be a critic of the Comforter. You are going to bring a discouraging comment into a session of encouraging truth. Is that what you're going to do? Is that what you want to do? You know, you're better off just keeping your mouth shut. Just don't say anything. I have never in my life ever had it in my heart to cause harm in another believer's life. But that's what you're doing. So the timeline shifts forward. The timeline was not exact. Big surprise. Okay? That doesn't mean that this is over. And this is not over by a long shot. And I also want to say, well, to you critical thinkers out there, when you jump on this channel or any other channel, or you walk up to anyone, and you say to them, that's not going to happen. Pause for a moment and let it sink in that you're the date setter. You've just now become the date setter. And there's no one here that's setting dates. 9:03 a.m. this morning was not a date set. What it was a possibility. This could possibly happen. It didn't. Now what? We're going to quit? We're going to quit? I'll tell you, you'd make my whole life a whole lot easier if you did. Now, just every one of you unsubscribe. My life's now a whole lot less. I'm not carrying that weight any longer. But let me tell you something, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy because I wouldn't have your fellowship. I wouldn't have your friendship. I would no longer treasure those incoming messages that says, Steve, that this ministry has so blessed me. This is what I would love for these critics to understand. But of course, they never will. They never will. Just say it's not going to happen. And now you're the date setter. You're the very one that you're being critical of. No, it's not over. It's not over. Not by a long shot. 24 hours makes a difference. We are in an exciting window right now. This delay, it could be a period of 24 hours. It could be a period of 7 days. It could be a period of 10 days, as some have suggested. Or it could be a period of 30 days. Calendar could be off. But it does not change the fact of everything that I presented to you folks over the past 5 or 6 days. Most of it was rock solid. And I'm going to keep on going. I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to keep looking up. I'm going to keep praying for you all. I beg you to pray for the direction of this ministry. And I beg you to rest in Him, because all things work together for the good to those who love God and are called according to His purpose. We are told that He is supremely sovereign over our lives, and there's nothing that we go through, there's nothing that He takes us through that is not for our ultimate good. Don't be critical of that. Look, I love you all. I truly do. Thanks for listening.